A seat worth fighting for. The hum of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport buzzed around Marcus Thompson, a 17-year-old with a spark in his eye and a backpack slung over one shoulder. At 50, I've seen my share of airport chaos, but something about Marcus caught my attention as he navigated the terminal with quiet confidence. He was headed to San Francisco for the National Youth Tech Summit, a big deal for a kid his age. His dad, Nathan Thompson, a cybersecurity titan worth billions, had upgraded Marcus's ticket to first class, a proud gesture for a son who'd earned his spot among the nation's brightest young minds. But what unfolded on that flight wasn't just a trip. It became a battle for dignity that grounded a plane and sparked a reckoning. Marcus clutched his phone, double-checking his gate. B-23. His algorithm for detecting bias in AI had won him a full scholarship to the summit, a feat that had his dad beaming. Nathan, CEO of SecureNet Solutions, had built his empire from a garage, overcoming countless rejections. He'd taught Marcus to carry himself with pride, especially in spaces where he'd be one of the few black faces. "Hold your head high," Nathan had said that morning, his hand firm on Marcus's shoulder. "You belong." Trouble started at security. While others breezed through, Marcus was pulled for a random screening. The agent's tone was clipped, his pat-down thorough. 20 minutes later, Marcus reached the first-class lounge, only to face a skeptical attendant. "Membership card?" she asked, barely glancing up. "I'm flying first class," Marcus replied, showing his digital boarding pass. She squinted, hesitating before waving him through. Inside, he texted Nathan, "Made it to the lounge. Boarding soon." His dad's reply was instant. "Proud of you. You belong there." Boarding the plane, Marcus felt the weight of his dad's words. The jet bridge stretched ahead, a path to his future. A flight attendant, Stephen, greeted him warmly, guiding him to seat 3A. The first-class cabin gleamed leather seats, ample legroom, personal screens. Marcus settled in, reviewing his summit materials. But another attendant, Linda Harris, watched him with narrowed eyes. "Can I help you find your seat?" she asked, her tone dripping with doubt. "I'm in 3A, Marcus said, standing beside it. "Are you sure?" Linda pressed, demanding his boarding pass. He showed it, but her scrutiny lingered. As other passengers boarded, Marcus noticed the difference. Linda offered warm smiles and drinks to white executives, but ignored him. A businessman, Robert Langley, took the seat beside Marcus, giving him a quick, appraising glance before burying his nose in a financial paper. When Stephen offered Marcus water, Linda interrupted, demanding to see his boarding pass again. "There's a ticketing issue," she announced loudly, her voice carrying. Marcus's heart raced, but he stayed calm, showing his pass for the third time. "My dad upgraded my ticket. Here's the confirmation." Linda barely glanced at it. "Anyone could have sent that email," she snapped. The accusation stung. Robert sighed, muttering, "Standards are slipping everywhere." Marcus began recording on his phone, a habit Nathan had drilled into him. Linda's face tightened. "Recording isn't allowed during boarding," she claimed, though others were snapping selfies. "I'm documenting this because I believe I'm being discriminated against," Marcus said, his voice steady. Linda's tone turned icy. "You're being disruptive. Security's been called." Across the aisle, a woman in her 40s, Dr. Emily Chun, looked up from her medical journal. "He's not disruptive," she said firmly. "He's shown his ticket multiple times." Linda dismissed her, but two security officers appeared, their eyes fixed on Marcus. "Step out of the seat," one ordered. Marcus complied, gathering his things, but insisted, "I have a valid first-class ticket." As they escorted him through the plane, whispers followed. "This is what happens when you don't know your place," someone muttered. In the jet bridge, Marcus called Nathan, his voice cracking. "Dad, they kicked me out. Said this seat isn't for people like me." Nathan's response was steel. "Put them on." The security officer hesitated, but Marcus pressed. "My father's Nathan Thompson, CEO of SecureNet Solutions." The name shifted the air. An airport manager, Patricia Evans, arrived, dismissing Marcus's evidence. "Digital confirmations can be manipulated," she said. Dr. Chun, who'd followed, countered, "This is racial profiling." Patricia took Marcus's phone reluctantly, her face paling as Nathan spoke. She stammered, "Yes, sir. I'll verify immediately." Back in D.C., Nathan stood in SecureNet's boardroom, for investors waiting for a $50 million pitch. His phone buzzed Marcus. Hearing his son's distress, Nathan's calm mask hit a storm. "Gentlemen, something urgent's come up," he said, striding out. In his office, he called Airways Alliance's CEO, Philip Grayson. "Your staff humiliated my son," Nathan said, his voice low. "First class isn't for people like him," they said. "It's on video. Your $12 million corporate account with us is on the line." Grayson promised action, but Nathan wasn't done. "The plane doesn't move until this is fixed." At the gate, Patricia returned, her tone forced. "A system error. Your seat's confirmed." Marcus wasn't appeased. "The attendant said this seat isn't for people like me." What did she mean? Patricia deflected, but the operations director arrived, grim. "Mr. Thompson, our CEO's involved. The plane stays grounded until this is resolved." Linda was removed from the flight, and Marcus was escorted back to 3A. Passengers reboard, some glaring, others nodding in support. Robert Langley muttered, "Hope you're satisfied. Some of us have deals waiting." The flight took off 2 hours late, the cabin tense. At 35,000 feet, Robert, emboldened by scotch, turned to Marcus. "You played the race card, and everyone jumped. Your daddy's call grounded us all." Marcus inhaled. It wasn't about the seat. It was about dignity. Dr. Chin interjected. "I saw it all." He was profiled. A black executive, Lawrence Mitchell, joined in. "Where's our lane, exactly?" he asked Robert, who faltered. The captain's voice crackled. "I apologize to Mr. Thompson. What happened wasn't our values." The cabin fell silent, the apology unprecedented. In San Francisco, Marcus stepped into the tech summit, his story already viral. First class while black trended, videos racking up millions of views. At the networking reception, Angela Carter, a renowned AI ethics expert, approached. "Your courage today was inspiring," she said. "I've read your work on algorithmic bias. Let's talk tech." Their discussion was interrupted by organizers inviting Marcus to a diversity panel. He agreed, tying his experience to systemic bias in algorithms. Nathan arrived that night, having flown cross-country. At the hotel, they learned Airways Alliance was reviewing policies, and Marcus's panel was now a main event. The next day, the hall overflowed. Marcus spoke powerfully, linking his ordeal to his research. "Bias isn't just personnel, it's coded into systems." Angela added, "Most incidents lack a CEO dad to amplify them." The audience leaned in, executives taking notes. That afternoon, Marcus's technical presentation drew a packed room. Offers poured in internships, collaborations. Over dinner, Airways Alliance's COO called, offering a settlement. Marcus declined. "I want transparent reporting and real change, not money." Later, Stephen, the flight attendant, called. "Your stand gave us courage. We've reported Linda's pattern of bias." The airline stock dipped as corporate clients reevaluated contracts. 6 months later, Marcus addressed Airways Alliance's new equity training in Atlanta. His algorithm now flagged bias patterns across industries. Linda, reinstated after training, approached him. "I didn't see my bias then," she said. "The data opened my eyes." Marcus nodded, recognizing it as the start. SecureNet's Equity AI division, born from Marcus's project, thrived, and the Thompson Foundation funded scholarships for minority students. On his next flight, Marcus boarded 3A again. A young black girl, maybe 12, sat in first class, welcomed warmly. No one questioned her place. Marcus texted Nathan, "Change happens one flight at a time." The plane landed smoothly, a routine trip that felt like triumph. Marcus had claimed his space, ensuring others could, too. What do you think about Marcus's stand? Have you witnessed injustice or faced it yourself? Share your thoughts below, especially on confronting bias and standing up for what's right. Your perspective matters. Like and subscribe for more stories of courage and change.